Which one is the most expensive? Which one is the oldest? Which one is worth the hype? Hello, my name is Amy, and on this channel we're all about making the savviest and stylish decisions around luxury fashion. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. So my bestie here on YouTube, Kat L, she filmed this video called All About My Luxury Handbags. And it apparently was a video idea that was started in the makeup community. And she used those questions to apply to the category of luxury, which is brilliant. So I had to move almost my entire collection in front of me on my bed to show you guys. And because of that, I got really hot. But can I just say I love this jacket. For those of you who are not quite ready to invest in a Balmain jacket, but want the look, this one is a really good one. They've been doing a lot of different jackets and blazers at Zara this season. In general, their sleeves are always too long, but this particular one, which also comes in a green color, is perfection. It's so comfortable. The material is really nice, so I do highly recommend it. I'm gonna be linking my outfit down below. I'm also gonna be linking this beautiful bouquet down below. For those of you who've never heard of Rose Forever, I featured them a few times before. They're a company in New York that creates these beautiful rose arrangements. These are genuine real roses that have been treated so that they can be displayed for up to 1 year. They offer it in a circular or square arrangement, and this is the circular one in the largest size, and I chose it in a pink color. I have a lot of friends who are having babies now, and this would be perfect for a little baby girl coming their way. Last time I featured a blue color, which was stunning. My sister-in-law loved it because that's her favorite color. The ones that I received in the past didn't really have a smell, or they had a really faint smell. I think the red one had a really faint smell, the blue one didn't really have a smell, and this one also has a very faint rose smell. You can also use the lid on the bottom just to prop it up a little bit higher. First question in this series, newest bag in my collection. So my newest bag in my collection is the trendy CC. Unfortunately, like everyone, I have nowhere to go. I'm also avoiding going out anyway. I haven't worn it at all. I haven't even taken out the CC sticker here just because I don't have to, since I'm not really using it yet. But of course, when I use it, I will take it out. I'm not that crazy. I will take out at least the CC sticker in front, but usually I try to preserve the stickers as long as I can until they either peel off, or if they're really unsightly, such as the actual one, the very one in front here. Many of you who are wondering how my trendy CC is doing in terms of wear and tear and how I love it, I still can't really comment other than my first impression. I'm confident that I will still really love this bag even when I start using it, and even when the cons start showing up as I'm using it. The second newest bag that I added to my collection this year was this beauty in the houndstooth. This is from the spring summer collection, and this is a mini rectangular flap. Similar to the trendy CC, I haven't used this bag either. The fabric is not for everyone. I get still asked a lot whether you should go for a more delicate fabric such as this one. My answer is always it depends, because it really does. If you don't have anything like this in your collection and you already have quite a large collection already, then sure, go for it. But if it's one of your first bags, or if it's one of those bags that you feel like you want to wear more on a daily basis, then I don't recommend it. And if you're scared to death to get color transfer, then my general answer is do not get it, because the moment you get color transfer, which could very well happen unless you seldomly wear it, you're just gonna cry and you're just gonna be so heartbroken. So the third newest handbag in my collection, and I'm gonna end at this one, is my Lady Dior. This is absolutely beautiful. This is the mini size in the gray opaline color. I think that my white balance is finally at a acceptable and true to color level, so this is pretty much the color that you see in person. Same story with this bag. Haven't worn it yet, but still absolutely love it, and I always look at it or play with it at home. Don't worry, it's not like I don't wear my bags out, but it's just that I am being really precious with these more delicate ones that I most recently added. The next question is, which is my oldest bag in my collection? So in terms of oldest bag for purchase date, would be my Neverfull in size. However, the bag that is actually the oldest for manufacturing date is my jumbo single flap. So this is a bag that I bought in 2016, pre-loved, but this bag was actually made in 2010, maybe 2009. So manufacturing date, this is the oldest bag, but actual purchase date, it would be my Neverfull. And of course, anything before that, such as my Neo Noe or my Speedy 30 or my Alma PM, those I no longer have. My most expensive bag is my Trendy CC, which happens to be my newest bag as well. I don't own the classic flap except the pre-loved jumbo that you saw earlier, so technically this one is the most expensive, pretty much just as much as a classic flap, maybe just a little under. My second most expensive is the Chanel 19. My least expensive luxury handbag would have to be this little Valentino rock stud crossbody bag. It's so cute. I still highly recommend it. I've talked about this bag at length. It's one of the best substitute for what's really popular nowadays, which are nano bags, because this bag still packs so much. It fits almost just as much as my square mini, which is a lot for a mini bag. But the price is very reasonable. Sometimes you can even get it on sale. This is in the color poudre, which stands for powder in French. And sometimes different retailers will call it different names, but they all pretty much mean the same. Sometimes they're called, sometimes this color is called nude or powder pink or nude pink. It's all the same thing. But on the Valentino website, officially it's called poudre. And yeah, I still really recommend it. It's one of those really surprising bags. So in terms of luxury, like high-end luxury, this would be my least expensive one. But if we were to also include contemporary luxury, this would be it. This is a Coach dinky bag that I bought a few years ago, and it's in the color white, and it comes with a web strap in orange color, and it's super cute. I don't really buy Coach bags anymore, but this one was very playful, and I was really attracted by the color because it is a creamy white color, and I always advocate buying riskier colors in less expensive options. So this is a good one, I feel. And actually I'm just noticing the purples. I'm also gonna throw in another least expensive bag, but it's not gonna be luxury, but one of my least expensive bag that I really do use is this Nike bum bag, and I just love the colors that's been going on. I usually wear it when I go for walks. There's a back pocket here, and there's a main compartment here. They always have these, and there's another mesh compartment inside. It's just very simple, $30. As of right now, my everyday bag is the Muzi pochette. As you can see, I still haven't emptied it out because this is pretty much what I am constantly grabbing when I need to get out the door. I have all my essentials in here. I started using the smaller pouch in the front because I wanted to have a separate compartment to keep maybe like a clean mask, or maybe whatever it is that I want to just separate from the main compartments. I haven't used the coin pouch as much. Maybe I should add it because I feel like this bag looks so good in the fall, especially when you wear the whole package. It's a look, really lightweight. Even with organizers inside, I do have the Samorga organizer in this one, and the strap is extremely comfortable. Once I have it on my body, I don't move it. Even when I get in and out of the car, even if I'm driving, I don't remove it because this strap just sits very flat on the back. I do want to mention one thing is that even though it is possible to use the small pouch in the front, it is not the easiest to get in and out of it, because when the larger compartment in the back is full, which is the most easy access because it's the largest compartment, it also kind of puffs out and pushes on the opening of this. It kind of constricts it, so you have to really dig in. I call it my pandemic bag because it is truly pretty much the reason why I bought this. So another bag that I've been using, it's not really my everyday bag, but it's just a bag that I've been really enjoying lately because of the fall season and because of the color, is my beautiful Gabrielle bag from the B collection. So it's from fall of last year. And I noticed that the current season, so in the 20K collection, they also have this burgundy that's almost identical. If it wasn't because of COVID, where I'm a little bit more paranoid about touching things too often and not being able to sanitize later, I would actually be wearing my Gabrielle a lot more. Like, it would be more of an everyday-ish bag for me. And in fact, the bucket bag would also be a really, really good everyday bag option for me, because this size is just perfect. It's still small, but it's not super heavy if I did end up putting a few more things inside. And yeah, this is one of the nicest little bucket bag that I've ever come across. This one is from the 19B collection. Question number 6 is bag with the best memory attached to it. I will have to again include 3. I think that's the trend with my version of the video. I would have to include both of my mini flaps, as well as this beautiful cocoa handle in blue color. So all these beautiful complementary color. Oh my gosh, this would look like a really amazing thumbnail. Maybe I should just change it. Along my luxury YouTube journey, I've come across and met a lot of really, really good people and just genuine good friends here on YouTube. Kat is one of them. Clara is one of them. Shouting out to so many people right now. Oksana is one of them. I feel like I'm forgetting so many people. Gina's one of them. When I think about these particular 3 bags, especially, I think about my good friend Amy Jo. We used to chat on a daily basis, and of course we still chat regularly, but her life has changed a lot this year. I'm sure if you follow her, you know what I'm talking about. Her lifestyle has changed quite drastically, so she's become a lot more busy. Remember back then, before COVID and before 2020, especially in Vancouver, we had a different system. So trying to get a hold of a mini flap, and even nowadays, trying to get a hold of a mini flap is nearly impossible. So right here in Vancouver, we have the first come first serve policy. So you literally have to line up super early on launch day to maybe get your hands on one. So this was one of them that I got hands of at the same time as her. We were literally beside each other comparing. This one is my first mini ever, and it is also one of my most treasured one personally. If you've seen my reveal video on this, you would know exactly what I'm talking about. They're really old videos. It was at the beginning of my YouTube journey as well. This blue cocoa handle was also a really special one because this was actually always available at my store. Nobody bought it. It wasn't quite when the cocoa handle got super crazy popular yet. It's so funny because this color was actually what Amy wanted more. She loved this color, but she didn't want a mini size at the time. She was still more into the larger size bag, whereas I'm the one who is crazy about mini bags at the time. And I was worried that maybe the cocoa handle might not come back for a while because, like I said, it wasn't quite popular yet at that time. So anyway, I ended up buying it instead. And it's since become one of my most cherished as well. Not only because of the history, the memory associated with it, but also because it's one of the last seasons where they did the exotic skin. Therefore, even the construction back then was better. The inside is completely lined in leather. And when I look at this one and I compare it to my newer ones, I can tell you that this one is so perfectly made. It's my more expensive cocoa handle though, because of the interior lining and the exotic skin, but I can tell you that they were much better made back then. I noticed that ever since it got more popular, they started getting less well made, like less consistently well made. Okay, up next is the bag that is worth the hype. The one that definitely comes to mind is the Chanel 19. I feel like this bag, even the Gabrielle is also one of them, but especially this bag, I don't know why there is so much either love or hate, but I feel like there's more love for this one than the Gabrielle. And the $1,000,000 question, which I still get to this date, is should I get the Gabrielle or the 19? They are so close. In terms of usability, I feel like they are definitely worth the hype. But also because this one looks very classic. The shape itself is a flap bag. I mean, it's drastically different from this because this looks nothing like the classic flap bag. Number 8, bag that is not worth the hype. Obviously, if it's not worth the hype, I'm not gonna really keep it in my collection. One of which I want to mention is the Gabrielle backpack. So not the hobo, not the one that I just showed you, but the backpack version. For whatever reason, I'm not exactly sure why, and I was only made aware of this because you guys tell me, is that the Gabrielle backpack has been getting more popular again lately. I don't understand why. I'm not sure where it came from. Maybe you can comment down below to let me know. But to me, it's not worth the hype, especially if it's more hyped up now that it's more popular again. To me, there's issues with user friendliness. There's issues with the construction. To me, it's missing a few key things. Up next is number 9, favorite bag from my favorite brand. Okay, my favorite brand is Chanel. One of them is the Square Mini, and there are several reasons why I love this bag. To get one of these Square Minis or rectangle minis at the time, I'm talking about 2015, 16, 17, it was so difficult. The hunt alone makes me appreciate it more. But of course, I love mini bags. Second of all, this is one of my most used Chanel bags. I travel with this. And even when I'm not traveling with this, I tend to always want to grab it because it's the perfect mini size, especially with nano bags nowadays being so popular. This is not a nano bag. It's still considered a mini bag. I think it fits more than a nano bag, but it's just so user-friendly. It still fits my large size Max phone lengthwise, which I'm so glad, because not all Square Minis fit a Max phone. Some Square Minis are a little bit tighter, and yes, because it's seasonal, they all differ a little bit. Third of all, the material of this particular one, being in this beautiful shiny black caviar, is just so durable. I have to also include this beautiful mini cocoa handle. The reason why I love this one the most, or it's my most loved cocoa handle, is because of the beautiful color. So this one I bought right after the blue one. I was so pleasantly surprised when I got this one because not only is the color a dream, it's a very light gray that looks almost white, which is the perfect shade if you love light color bags, but you're not quite committed to a stock white bag. This is so perfect for that, which is why I love it. And also, it was one of those seasons that they did the shiny gold hardware, because normally they are, with cocoa handles, they use the vintage gold, such as my blue one. They're both beautiful, but this is just so different. And I think this was one of the seasons that the cocoa handle was more different. I really did notice that ever since this collection and ever since I got my first cocoa handle, the cocoa handle just became popular all of a sudden, especially the mini size. Of course, the mini bag trend has something to do with it. But the fact that it blew out of proportions and everyone is after a cocoa handle nowadays is just so incredible. And so I'm so glad that I got one of those first ones at the time, and this is my dream color. Up next, we have the most used bag. I think before that, one of my most used is definitely my Palm Springs Mini. My Twice at one point was one of my most used. And so basically a lot of my LV bags are my most used because of how durable they are. They're canvas, easily wipeable, very hard wearing. You don't have to worry about rain. Except for a little bit of the fascia, which is not really a problem once you have it a bit tanned. Number 11 is the most underrated bag. I think I'm gonna pick the Gabrielle, not necessarily this color, but I will just pick Gabrielle bags in general. I feel like Gabrielle is still one of those that's very polarizing still even nowadays. So if you like the Gabrielle bag, but if you're worried about resale value, because I know you all think about it, even though I say it does not matter, it should not be your deciding factor, but I know a lot of you still think about it. If that's the case, I say go for the small size, so this size, or go for the new medium size. I feel like the reason why Chanel decided to come up with the new medium size is because the old medium size was just way too big. I think for most average height people, me included, in fact, I'm considered short, I think, in Western standard. For most average height people, that bag is still too big, in my opinion. Obviously, the size is very accommodating, so practically speaking, it makes sense to have a much larger size. But just the bag to body ratio, if you want to like look at it from a styling angle, it just does not make sense. So the new medium size makes a lot of sense. And I feel like Chanel wouldn't just create a new size if a bag was not successful. So in my mind, I feel like it is an underrated bag. And the fact that Chanel did go ahead and made in between size does mean that this bag is still quite loved by enough people, and more people are realizing that it is a very functional, user-friendly bag, regardless of resale value, of course. So I feel like the Gabrielle is definitely an underrated bag in my opinion. At number 12, the most nostalgic bag. So I have two. Let's talk about the round clutch first. This was from the spring summer collection of last year. Isn't this so gorgeous? Everything matches today. This really does have a little bit of a purplish greenish tone to it. It's iridescent black, but it's so pretty. I feel like it goes so well with this lavender jacket. Okay, why is it the most nostalgic, or one of the most nostalgic, is because I got this one in Hawaii at the time. The collection launched when I was in Hawaii, in Honolulu, and that was one of the last times that I traveled because I was just last year in spring. Second reason is because I was on a hunt for this particular bag, the round shape one, but I was actually on the hunt for the beige version, the beige iridescent, except that Hawaii, when I was there, they didn't receive it yet. Or maybe it was already sold and they just didn't want to tell me. I kept hunting. I kept going back to Chanel every few days and they still didn't have it. And so I just eventually settled as in I eventually just grabbed this instead because I still really liked this one. And I'm actually glad that I got this one now because this still goes with more things that I wear. So even though I did want that beige iridescent color because it was so dreamy, I'm really actually glad that I got this color. We were all leaving the next morning. On the very last evening, I decided to just go to the store and buy the one that they had, which is this color. Like I said, I'm glad that I have it now, but because I was so preoccupied with the idea of getting this clutch, at the time it was a brand new style, that even my husband was so moved by it, I guess. Maybe he thought that I really did like the item a lot, which I did, that he offered to buy it for me. I was not expecting him to buy me anything. I was just on the hunt myself, really trying to get a hold of one. But it was also close to my birthday. Well, it wasn't that close. It was in April and my birthday is in July. But, you know, he just thought, I'll just get it for your birthday. We are one of those couples that don't really do, we don't really have to do gifts per se. It's more like I notice what he loves. Around that time, around the time of his birthday or a little bit before, then I would just get it for him and he does the same thing. So that's what happened, which is why it's one of my most nostalgic bags. Not only does it remind me of the trip, but also how sweet it was and how I ended up getting it. This bag had a bit of a story too, and I feel like it wasn't my first choice at first, but I eventually also decided on this one. I originally wanted the crocodile embossed gold mini, the classic mini, which I actually did get, but exchanged it right away to this one. But the reason why this bag is also very nostalgic for me is because I really got to use it when I was in Las Vegas. I decided to bring this bag with me, and whenever I travel, that's when I really get to know a bag very well. And so very pleasantly surprised that this bag holds a lot, is very easily styled even though it is very busy. And also the fact that that was the last time that we traveled as well. It was in fall of last year, something that we can't do anymore, at least right now with the situation, the global situation. So I really, really am grateful of the experiences that I associate with all the travels that we've been able to do in the past, and I'm hoping, really hoping that this whole global pandemic situation can get resolved soon so that we can all resume and also be even more present and mindful and grateful every time we get an opportunity to do the same things that we used to be able to. Last but not least, at number 13, the most disappointing bag. So if there are anything that I don't like in my collection, I most likely don't keep, which is why I don't have it to show you. But one of my most disappointing, more recent purchases that I made would be the on-the-go size. I made a whole video about why I did not end up keeping the bag, so feel free to watch it. But long story short, the one that I received was not made very well, still too much in between size for me. I'd much rather just use my Neverfull, like I mentioned in that video. I know that a lot of people disagreed with me in that video as well, which is fine. We all have different lifestyles and preferences. If you have a YouTube channel, I encourage you to do the same video. I'm not gonna tag people, but if you do want to do it, I would love to watch it. So let me know down below if you're doing it. And if you don't have a YouTube channel, you can still maybe put in the comment section maybe answers to all of these 13. You don't have to do it like me and give 3 options for each, because I'm pretty sure I filmed for over 2 hours now. But it was really fun, and I think it's a nice way of getting updates on bags, that because you can't really say everything in a review and there are things that you just don't talk about. So hopefully you found it informational or entertaining. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you're new here, I would love to have you back, so please don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna be putting some related videos beside me, so have a watch, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye!